Americans Cole Hocker, Gabby Thomas win Olympic track gold. AINT-DENIS, France. One race ended with a shocker, the other was pure dominance. American Cole Hocker pulled the upset of the Olympic track meet Tuesday night, outracing favorites Jakob, Ingebrigtsen and Kerr to the finish line for the gold medal in the 1,500 meters. A short while later, American Gabby Thomas dominated the women's 200 meters, finishing in 21.83 seconds to add a gold to the bronze she took home in the event from Tokyo 3 years ago. "I mean, this is 6 years in the making, at least," Thomas said. "And all of it was for this moment. My coach told me everything I've done at this point, Tokyo Olympics, World Championships, it was for this." Hocker won the 1,500 meters in an Olympic record 3 minutes, 27.65 seconds, pulling from 5th to 1st over the final 300 meters to beat his personal best by more than 3 seconds. He beat Kerr by 0.14 seconds, while Ingebrigtsen, who set the pace through the first 1,200 meters, ended up in 4th in a time faster than his Olympic record set in Tokyo. "This may be an upset to a lot of people, but if you've been following my season, you knew I was capable of it," Hocker said. "But still, things had to go my way today." American Ingebrigtsen also set a personal best to win the bronze. "I remember, 200 meters to go, seeing Cole and being like, I feel good. I know he feels good. We could do something crazy huge here," Ingebrigtsen said. "So I feel like at that last 200 I was like, I know it's right in front of me. And that was really just a moment of digging down really deep and just getting it done." Hocker's victory was the first U.S. win in the metric mile since Matt Centrowitz took gold in 2016. This is the first time Americans put 2 men on the podium for the 1,500 m since the Stockholm Games in 1912. "I just told myself, don't be soft. You've got to go with it or you're going to regret this for the rest of your life if you don't go with it," Hocker said of the final 200 meters. With a narrow opening along the inside of lane 1, Hocker decided around the 100-meter mark to use it to glide past Kerr and take the late lead. But ask him about it now, and he can't tell you why he made the decision. It was sort of a spur-of-the-moment kind of move. "I'm honestly not sure how that played out, how that last 100 played out," Hocker said. "Wait, did the rail open up?" When told he passed Kerr on the inside, Hocker added, "I honestly did not remember. I just feel like it was instinct, evidently." The race had been billed as a showdown between Ingebrigtsen and Kerr, with the Norwegian setting a hot pace as he led coming into the last 200. Ingebrigtsen darted to the front quickly and ran there for the first 3.5 laps, while Kerr traded between second and third, getting ready for his typical wind-up and a potential slingshot past Ingebrigtsen over the closing stretch, much the way he did last year to win gold at the World Championships. While that was playing out, Hocker, at 5'9" 1/2 and more than 3.5 inches shorter than the top 2 contenders, almost looked as if he was trying to photobomb the end of this race. He snuck up on the inside once, only to have Ingebrigtsen block that move. He then tried again with about 50 meters left, passed them both and crossed the line with his arms outstretched and a look of disbelief on his face before thumping his chest twice to celebrate a win hardly anyone saw coming. "I kind of figured it would be fast," Hocker, 23, said. "I figured Ingebrigtsen would want to take it out of guys like me. But I knew I hadn't been tested at this level yet, and I knew I was capable of being as strong as any of those guys out there." Hocker, out of the University of Oregon, was listed at as much as a 30-1 long shot for this race. In the women's 200, Thomas burst into the lead for good at the curve and was never challenged down the stretch, finishing well clear of 100-meter champion Julian Alfred of St. Lucia, who was 0.25 seconds off the pace in 22.08. "The only thing I needed to do was get the lead. Get the lead and then finish strong," Thomas, 27, said of coach Tanya Buford-Bailey's last-minute advice. "And I did that." The Harvard graduate, who has a master's in public health, grabbed her head with both hands after winning. "You prepare for this moment and you train so hard for this moment, but when it actually comes, it's indescribable, and I couldn't believe it," Thomas said. I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams that I would become an Olympic gold medalist. And I am one, and I'm still wrapping my head around that. Brittany Brown of the US got the bronze in 22.20, 0.02 seconds in front of Dina Asher-Smith of Britain, who was another hundredth of a second ahead of teammate Daryl Nata. Out of 3 sprints so far on the purple track at Stade de France, the Americans have picked up 2 golds. Thomas followed Noah Lyles in the men's 100 to the top step of the podium. Thomas entered as the favorite, especially after reigning world champion Shericka Jackson of Jamaica dropped out with an apparent injury. After she earned her degree at Harvard in neurobiology and global health, Thomas enrolled at the University of Texas, where she earned a master's in public health for studying sleep patterns of different ethnic groups while also making the wise choice to double down on her track training. The decision was to set up a 6-year schedule, with the long-term aim being this evening in Paris. Thomas didn't want the Paris Games to be her first Olympics, so she did what it took to get herself to Tokyo 3 years ago. That happened, and her takeaways from that trip to Japan were 3rd place in the 200, a silver medal in the 4x100 relay, plus, maybe most valuable of all, the experience. I feel like I've worked very hard, and everything has been a part of the plan. This has been a 6-year plan, ever since moving to Texas, Thomas said. We've been working hard every day for this, so I earned it. But it's still an unbelievable, indescribable feeling. She'll have a chance for another medal as part of the 4x100 relay team, which could be in the final Saturday.